There is a trench 200 miles southwest of Guam. At its deepest point, the pressure is so absolute that it would crush a human body to the size of a marble in less than 3 seconds. For decades, we told ourselves nothing complex could survive there. We were wrong. In 2026, we found something in that darkness that changes what we thought life could be. The Challenger Deep. 7 miles down, 36,070 feet of water above your head. That's 24 Empire State Buildings stacked in the black, each one topped with another, and you're still not at the bottom. The cold is 35 degrees, the dark is absolute. No sun has touched this place in the entire history of human civilization, and yet life is down there, not simple, not thin. Life that has engineered itself to exist in a place where physics itself seems to reject it. In January 2026, a submersible descended to 800 meters and recorded something the research team didn't expect to find: a colonial siphonophore, not the first one ever observed, but one larger than any on record. Imagine a creature that is not one organism but thousands of specialized polyps acting as a unified body, a creature that spans 150 feet in length, longer than a blue whale, drifting through absolute darkness like a living chain. The submersible's lights found it. For 11 seconds the footage holds. No cut, no rescue, just the creature undulating in the black, and the viewer's nervous system beginning to understand that the ocean does not recognize human frameworks for what is possible. That creature wasn't listed in any taxonomy before 2026. That creature was waiting, but the siphonophore was not the anomaly that shook the research team most. In March 2026, a deep-sea probe detected something that shouldn't exist at all: a hydrothermal vent field releasing water at 750 degrees Fahrenheit. The vents themselves were not the discovery, the life surrounding them was. Chemosynthetic bacteria had formed mats so thick and organized that they appeared in the footage almost like farmland, as if something down there was cultivating survival, as if there was intention in the arrangement. The bacteria were processing chemicals leached from the Earth's mantle: hydrogen sulfide, methane, iron, converting them into the energy that fed everything above them. Life not powered by the sun, life powered by the planet itself, in a way that suggested Earth was not a surface with an interior, but a single breathing system we had only begun to understand. The creatures feeding on those bacterial mats were equally strange. New species of yeti crabs, their legs covered in silken setae so fine they appeared almost feathered, filtering nutrients from water that was simultaneously boiling and freezing depending on proximity to the vent. A brittle star with an arm span of 2 feet, moving across terrain that had never known light, navigating by touch and chemical signatures in water that was denser than anything surface life could survive. An octopus species with eyes the size of dinner plates, hunting in darkness so complete that the creature's own bioluminescence was its only truth. By April 2026, the research vessels had mapped 3 new vent fields, not in the expected locations, in places where the models said vents should not be possible, which meant the models were wrong, which meant there were vents we hadn't found, which meant the ocean contained more chemical energy, more food, more capacity to sustain life than the previous calculations had allowed, which meant the deep ocean was not a desert with occasional oases. It was a hidden world of abundance that operated on principles we had not yet learned to read. But the discoveries were not limited to the life forms themselves. In May 2026, geological surveys found something that rewrote the timeline of how we understand ocean formation. Deep beneath the abyssal plains, in canyons that had never been mapped, a new system of geological formations was discovered. Seamounts that rose and fell in patterns that suggested not random geological chance but a structure, a topology. Ridges aligned at angles that did not match current plate tectonics models. Rock formations that appeared to have been shaped by forces the planet's interior still exerted, still commands, in ways that current science could not fully predict. The Earth's mantle was not a static engine running down. It was still innovating, still creating, still doing things we had not anticipated. In June 2026, a discovery in the Java Trench shifted the paradigm further. Sediment cores revealed layers of organic material, compressed life, older than anything in the fossil record. Not fossils themselves, but the chemical signature of life so ancient that it predated the current theory of ocean floor recycling. The rocks should have been destroyed by plate tectonics. They were not. They were still there, preserving a history that suggested the deep ocean was not merely the bottom of Earth, it was the archive, it was keeping records, it was remembering. The creatures continued to surprise. In July 2026, a bioluminescent squid was discovered at 3,000 meters, producing light at wavelengths never before recorded in cephalopods. Ultraviolet-range bioluminescence, invisible to human eyes but perhaps visible to the creatures that hunted it or that it hunted. A mode of communication and predation happening in absolute darkness, in a language we could only read with instruments, which meant for millennia an entire conversation had been unfolding in the ocean. Light signals we could not see, messages in the black, but perhaps the most unsettling discovery came in August 2026. Not a new species, not a new geological formation, but the absence of something. In regions of the ocean floor where previous expeditions had found robust hydrothermal communities, there was nothing. No bacteria mats, no vent creatures, no chemical signatures of active vents. The heat was gone, the vents had died, and in their absence a clear truth emerged. These ecosystems which science had assumed were stable, locked in place by the planet's unchanging interior, were actually fragile. They were temporary, they could end. The life surrounding them would have no warning, it would simply cease to exist as if it had never been. The final discovery of 2026 came in the Mariana Trench itself, a small chamber identified by acoustic mapping that appeared to contain water of a different density than the surrounding ocean. A pocket, an anomaly. The research teams have not yet descended to confirm what it is. They know only that it is there, that it exists, that the deepest place on Earth contains a secret we have not yet opened. This is what we found in 2026, creatures that defy biological law, ecosystems that should not be possible, geological formations that rewrite our understanding of how the planet works, a hidden world that is neither stable nor knowable, that is still moving, still changing, still doing things that surprise us. And there is more, there is always more. 95% of the ocean remains unmapped, 95%. The creatures we found in 2026 were found by accident, by submersibles on other missions, by probes sent to collect different data, by instruments that stumbled into the darkness and happened to look in the right direction at the right moment, which means in the places we have not yet looked, in the regions we have not yet sent our instruments, in the canyons and ridges and fractures that sprawl across the ocean floor unseen, there are discoveries waiting. Creatures, ecosystems, truths about the nature of life and the Earth itself that we have not yet imagined. The ocean is still keeping secrets, and we are only beginning to learn how to listen.